peeps. Good afternoon. Today is Saturday. It's around 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. The sun is already starting to set. So I'm right here at my boy's Jelani Thomas. I forgot what he calls this. It's something Urban Garden Observatory or something like that. But yeah, so it's Gardner J. Alright, my please, I'm a little bit off. But alright, so well, the point is that I'm at his Urban Garden Observatory, and I'm gonna give you guys a tour of his garden. And this is what I mean, that only everybody will take the initiative and take the action to go ahead and just do whatever you can with whatever you have. And this is another great, wonderful, powerful, inspirational, motivational example, a living example of how you could literally just grow your own food. Alright, so here we go, my peeps. Let's check it out. So pretty much this is the entrance to the side of the house. And okay, so I'm gonna go break it down, go slow and everything. Oh man, wait a minute. Alright, cool. Alright, so these are rain barrels that he got from I remember from Marvin, where I got my rain barrels, the original ones, the first ones. They were like $13 each. So he got these, I remember, from Marvin, my neighbor from my block. So these are all rain barrels right here, more rain barrels right here, but they're all empty because it hasn't been raining and we are in summer right now. And to give himself privacy, I guess this is made out of bamboo, so it goes all across, all the way down. But yeah, so that's that. And then right here, funny thing is that these cactus, actually they came from my garden, from my cactus tree or plant. And I remember we gave him, I think it was 3 pads, just 3 single pads, and he planted them and they grew. And so yeah, I think, yeah, it was 3 of them. Yeah, so the original ones were these right here. So pretty much this one right here was the original one, the single one. And look, it just took off. It took off into a whole tree, big bush plant. And the same thing with all of these. So let me see. You see, it was just one. Put them in these pots, and yeah, so they took off. Look, and it just multiplied it and it started spreading. So that's the second one, and then the third one. Look. So out of 3 nopales, leaves or pads, single ones, he managed to get all of these. Look, and they're pretty tall. They're like about, I don't know, 7 feet tall. Yeah, 7 feet tall. So yeah, so this came from my garden. You know, I hooked up Thomas. But yeah, so now he has his own nopales. Yes, he has I don't know which one's this one, but I know it's edible. Not sure if it's amaranth. And then he has celery right here that's going to flower. Look how beautiful that is. Yeah, this is celery. Look, my peeps. You can barely tell, but yeah, it's celery, alright. And yeah, he has celery all over the place. So he has edible here. And look at this one. It's all beautiful and purple. He knows how to harvest this and process it and eat it, you know. It's all food right here. And then he has, so we got the rain barrels behind me. And But yeah, so this is nopales, his cactus bush. And there you go, more food. And just keep going. Used to be like a lawnmower. He was using it as a wood chipper to break down more organic matter to finer particulates, so it could decompose and break down faster to accelerate the process. He has a tub. Right here in the past, he actually had potatoes growing. This was his potato patch. So all of this was potatoes. But it's a tub that he found, just laying in the street, in the sidewalk, and he just brought it and he put a use to it. So he was growing potatoes. So let me see more of this edible stuff. I gotta ask Thomas what is this, but I think it's amaranth or something like that. But yeah, it's everywhere. And then I don't know what is this one called, but it's giving these purple flowers. Yeah, so I'm not really quite knowledgeable on what is what on Jelani's garden, but I will learn. I should know this already, but it's all good. And then he has his tomatoes, tomato vine, his bush, and yeah, so he has tomatoes everywhere. Look, he has more little clusters everywhere. So he has an abundance of tomatoes. Oh, there's some right here that are barely ripening up, but the birdies are getting to them. So yeah, but he has clusters everywhere. So he's gonna have like tomatoes in no time. And the good thing is that it's spreading everywhere. Yeah, so let me just turn around so you guys can see. Alright. Give it a whole 360. Got some drip line right here. And look, his chickens. There goes his chicken right there. But yeah, look, he has more clusters. So he's gonna be having tomatoes everywhere pretty much. You see? They're beautiful. Look at the color of these. They're all healthy. Look, another cluster. Another cluster. Another cluster. It's just clusters everywhere, So all of this is going to be his tomatoes. Another rain barrel. I don't know what exactly he uses this for. I'll ask him. And then he has corn cobs there. A bunch of them in the floor. And then he has his onion patch right here. And this is very innovative of Thomas. He takes shopping carts, and since they have wheels, they're portable. They're mobile, and since they're elevated, they're portable raised bed gardens. So check this out. He has there's all the seeds, onion seeds, these black ones. So I'm gonna ask him if I could get some of these seeds. But yeah, so right here he has all the onions. And look, a ladybug doing its thing. And then today we busted a mission. We went to go get these bale of hay. This is just regular hay, and that's alfalfa hay. And this serves multiple uses. So it's not just for one specific or particular thing. You could be very creative, and it has multi-uses. Another portable raised bed garden, so that's a cool thing. Just shopping carts from different shopping stores or groceries or shopping centers. This one happens to be from Marshall. This one happens to be from Big Lots. And I don't know where's this one from. Oh, this one's from Smart Source Carts. But yeah, so right here he has another nopal. Another pad that is kind of warpy. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's like a snake. It's all weird. But hey, it's growing food. See it rooted. Yeah, some more seeds. Look, but all of these are onions. Look how beautiful it is. It's huge, just taking over. And you can harvest all of this. Yeah, this is all jam-packed with seeds, like literally. But yeah, so that's that. And I think these are chives. I'm not sure what these are, but this is all edible. And this is cilantro for sure. So he let his cilantro go to seed. So all of these little seed, these little balls right here, are most likely cilantro. So you could, it's self-seeding, and it's pretty much gonna, it's like a perennial. You don't have to replant it every season. It's not like a seasonal crop. Even though that it is, I mean, if you could let them go to flower and then let the seeds drop and replant themselves and regerminate, bam, hands free. So you got the cycle going over and over and over without having to do much. And here you go. Thomas just threw him a handful of, I guess it looks like cheese, so I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, so there used to be 4 of them, but now he's down to 2. So he lost 2 of his chickens, but these are happy because they don't like the camera. And you know, he just throws all the rimes and the kitchen scraps, and you know, decomposed or whatever. It's still good. The chickens will munch on it. So he threw them right here some fresh feed that we also went to go pick up today. Yeah, so they could, you know, they have different sources of food. You know, they have the natural one and the man-made one in a way, in a sense. But yeah, so they pretty much eat a little bit of everything. Their diet is diverse. It's not limited. So we got the bales of hay. Remember, that's normal, regular one. This is alfalfa. It's more nutrient dense. It still has the chlorophyll. And then, so we're gonna go in this direction. So this is his wheelbarrow, you know, to transport things, to make things more mobile, to help them out. And yeah, so we have more tomatoes growing right here. And he just uses different type of containers, you know, whatever he could find. And I don't know what type of tree is this, but it's pretty much right now in its dorming state. Okay, let's see, and then we're gonna go in through here. So I guess this is corn. I'm not sure what type of corn he planted right here in this pot. And then more celery. Just celery is like in abundance at his garden right here. And then some wild purslane right here. Some edible purslane right here growing. Yeah, look, just he has an abundance of this. It's just taking off. It's growing everywhere. Now we're gonna enter this section. Look at the size of the stalk. It's pretty thick, my peeps. Pretty thick. You know, all of this he constructed. This was just plain. I mean, when he moved in, it was just grass and just all empty, plain. Nothing growing, nothing. There was no diversity, no food. It was just grass. The standard American backyard. And he set all of this up. And so we're right here. So we got the collard greens. Yeah, he has an abundance of collard greens. Yeah, leafy greens every day, pretty much. You could juice them, blend them, dehydrate them. I think this is sage. I'm not sure, but it looks like it. So he has his herbs right here in the microclimate. And yeah, so he has a lot of collard greens, and then he has his dinosaur kale, some more leafy greens, and the leafy greens are nutrient dense. See, they are like snakes, man, like octopus tentacles. They're like, they just bind out and they go all wherever they want to go. They take off. So yeah, so he has a bunch of kale. Look at this one, it's like loop. Yeah, look at the size of these leaves. They're huge. Bigger than my head, bigger than my hand. Lamb's quarter, this is edible too. This is wild edible weed. This is edible for sure. Pretty much all of this is edible. More collard greens. Look at the size of this bad boy. Yeah, it's just beautiful, healthy. More collard greens and pots. This is raised bed. I don't know if you guys can see like the framing, the design. You see? Just put the perimeter, the 4x4s right there. And the 2x6s. But yeah, so he pretty much brought all of this organic matter, everything that you guys see here. This is all Thomas, Jelani Thomas. And then his apple tree, got a few apples, you know. So he has his apple tree. I don't know what this one is, but I seen it was in the front. Remember the purple flowers? Very beautiful. I don't know if it's like a culinary herb. Yeah, so he just has tree collars. And he has these long-legged spiders right here. But yeah, so he has collard greens everywhere for sure. And then more chives. All of this is edible, you know, for culinaries, for cooking, you know, enhancing the flavors. I think this is sweet potato. The vines right here in the ground. Yeah, I think it's either sweet potato or some type of yam, but it's I'm gonna say it's sweet potato. But I'm not really familiar with everything that is growing right here with Thomas. I will have to go ahead and ask him what is what specifically. Certain things that I can't recognize, so I don't know yet how to distinguish them. But yeah, so he has another dinosaur kale right here. More kale leaves. Look at this. I guess he must have been harvesting it, because you could tell he's been harvesting it, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and yet again more leafy greens, regular kale, collard greens. Collard greens. And then I guess some sunflowers right here. Yeah, some sunflowers in a pot. And look at the side shoots on this collard green. That's the main stalk. And look, it's just taking off. And then it did like a 90-degree right here. Look, man, it's all crazy. And then it goes up. And then all of these are shooting up. So these are all like 90 degrees. And look, from all the side shoots, just in abundance. You just have collard greens everywhere. And look, it's just massive. Thick stalks, just super thick. You know, the circumference is pretty wide. Yeah, and he pretty much framed this up for the chickens, because I mean they will. I mean, once they invade and they go over, they'll start destroying everything. So yeah, right there, I can see that's potatoes. You can see some bone and some purslane. But yeah, that's another little raised bed with the framing around it to protect it, so the chickens won't come in and just destroy everything, because it has happened before. So that's why he went ahead and he took this as a precaution, you know, to play it safe, you know, created these barriers. But yeah, so there you go. This is this little section right here, and the more bamboo to give himself that privacy. And I think those are like jasmines, those vines right here. I'm not sure. I will have to ask Thomas. Yeah, but look, he has food. I mean, Literally, you could just eat and survive off of this. He doesn't have to starve to death or worry about it. But yeah, so look, more collard greens. Just he has collard greens everywhere. And yeah, so I'm gonna keep going. And now we're gonna exit. We're gonna come back out. But let me just give you guys the view from right here. And now let's go back in reverse. And the sun is setting. It's probably like 6:30 already. Alright. Now let's go through here. There goes Mary. There goes Shay. So pretty. You're so pretty. We got some peppers, some lemongrass, more peppers, some celery. Look at that, just see the peppers. Chili peppers, lemongrass. We got the celery. Celery, good old celery. Can never go wrong with celery. And then got more peppers. The regular, the bell peppers. Swinging and growing. You guys can see behind me. So now I'm gonna give you guys this little pond, aquaponics system. He has goldfishes, and relatively just recently he got a hold of some tilapia. So he has like 10 tilapia, maybe like 15 goldfish. Maybe they'll be able to let themselves be seen. Yeah, they're moving down there. I can see them. Yeah, I can see the tilapia. They're chilling down there. So this is his little setup, and this is all watercress. It's like proliferating. It's just taking off. It's just dominating. It's taking off. It's thriving. It's just, it loves its environment. Got some seashells from the ocean. But yeah, so this is how it is. His construction. It's actually buried, like I would say halfway into the soil. So that's why some of it is like popping out. And then he used like one quarter of it, or 1/4 as the top. And yeah, so this is his construction. His and then he has that big pump right there. And this is his structure, the foundation to support it, using 4x4s and 2x6s and 2x1s. You got the algae growing. So he pretty much got the biology going. It's all set up and established. I don't know how old or how long has his aquaponics system been going, but it's been, of course, say more than 3 years for sure. I would say easily 5 years. See all the watercress. And now we're gonna enter this section, this zone. Another rain barrel right here. And then big old humongo, gigantic, oversized aloe vera. It's just full of pulp, super thick. And then right behind here, there's tomato mixed with, I think this is amaranth. I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, so all right here in the back, you see the tomatoes. See, there's some getting ripened up, some red ones. Still with the frame. And more pods, and he's just growing however way he can. You know, and look, more collard greens. Just huge. Look how thick this thing is. I can't even wrap my fingers around it. It's like super thick. And This is a pomegranate, granada. And the funny thing about it is I actually took a cutting from my pomegranate from my sister's backyard, where Freedom Garden number 2 is at. And it was actually 12 inches long. It was about this long, and it was a clone. And check it out, man. Now it's like literally a whole tree. And the lifespan is what, 200 years? So they could literally feed 2 generations if they live to be 100 years old. And then he uses just a bunch of branches, leaves as mulch, as to cover the soil, to decrease the evaporation of the water content. So the root system could always have water, and it won't be like struggling to try to absorb water. But yeah, so it has its own granadas. So by October, November, they're gonna be fully ripened. When they're ripe, they just split on their own. They just crack open, and they turn nice and red and humongous. So, yep, this is the granada tree, and I remember. Look at the stem, look at the stalk, the tree, the trunk. It's all huge, and it was just this thick. It was about this thick. It was about this long. So it went from this to this beautiful, humongous tree. And look at the canopy. And it's just vining out everywhere. So yup, and it has at least, I would say, maybe 50 to 100 pomegranates. And it all started from just one 12-inch branch, or yeah, pretty much, that I cloned. And I actually cloned it with LED lights when I was in that experimental phase. And I did it indoors too, so it's pretty cool. And that's cool. And then this is his composter, which actually the dimensions is 3 feet wide by 3 feet long and 3 feet in depth. And he actually buried, like I would say, like maybe 1/4 of it into the soil. So whatever he puts in here, and it has a lot of liquids, a lot of fluids, it won't like leach out and start spreading everywhere. So it just go directly to the ground, and then it would actually feed the pomegranate. So that's why I would say that the reason why this pomegranate tree has had a very accelerated growth process is because of having the composter right next to it. So it's like they complemented each other, and they helped it out so it could have that growth. So that's another thing you might want to do also, put some, or throw your compost or your scraps or whatever type of manure or any type of organic matter, next to your, not too close, but somewhat close to your tree, and it will have benefits. It'll be a win-win. So, and then he has, so this is where he composts his human manure, the doggies poo-poo, the chickens poo-poo, and he throws in worms, and the worms break it down with the microbes, with the macroscopic and the microscopic organisms, the insects and the bugs. So everything could have a symbiotic relationship. And yeah, so he has more amaranth here, more collard greens, and more compost. And this looks like an aquaponics thingy going on with the lava rocks, with the pebbles. And yeah, you could barely pass through here. Yeah, so all of this taking off, and this, gives him privacy from the neighbors. So this is all privacy, and it provides him with fresh air, because this is where he, this is his bat cave, This is his living space, his sanctuary. And yeah, so we have more, I guess it's like a maggot digester that he had. Yeah, pretty much. So he has this going on as well to feed the chickens and the fishies. And then he has his drip line. And then more rain barrels, because you got to harvest as much rain as you can, and more insulation. And then more drip line, you know, you gotta have the drip line. So yeah, so this is living space, and I'm gonna give another turn, a different angle. So I came in through here, and I came in through the left side. We'll go back. So right here, he has his passion fruit vine, and this thing is just like everywhere, which is what you want. This is wonderful. This is one good news. So yeah, so he has his passion fruit vine, and hopefully next year he has like an abundance, just like passion fruit flowers and passion fruit everywhere. So he could be coming out every day and just harvesting 5, 10, even 20, 15 passion fruits to munch on. So yeah, so his vine is beautiful. I hope it just goes everywhere. The better, the more the better. And this is his framing for his greenhouse. He doesn't have the actual plastic, the material, you know, because it's either way. It's summer, everything will be cooking in there. It'll be like, I don't know, 100 and something degrees in there. So right now he has the framing for the structure for the greenhouse, but there's no pretty much greenhouse going on. It's off service for right now. But yeah, so look, so we're gonna head out right now. But yeah, so look, this is for the privacy. It's a fence. And now let's go back out and look, nasturtiums down here. He has nasturtium flowers. These are edible flowers, and even the greens are edible. Yeah, so this is passion fruit. It's all beautiful and green. I love this. This is just so beautiful. The color and the patterns and everything, just so cool. I'm gonna move this out of the way a little bit. I have to lift it. It's just grew out of here. So yeah, so let's go back. And yeah, so this is his passion fruit vine and his pomegranate. Just took off. And we're gonna go back. Maybe I could find a passion fruit flower. That'll be wonderful. Oh look, as a matter of fact, I spotted one right here. Let me see if I can turn it around. It's like my favorite flower out there in the world right now so far. It's just so beautiful. Just so unique. Just wow. The colors, the pattern, everything just looks so cool. So cool. The back of it. Yeah, so there you go. He has the passion fruit flowers. But yeah, so there you go. Before we turn around, look. Now let's go through here. Let's go back. And look at his passion fruit vine. It's just super taking off. And now let's check out right here. I don't know, I think these are sweet potatoes. I'm not sure. I gotta ask Thomas what these are. More celery. Yeah. This is all edible right here. Look at the framing of the greenhouse. Go turn around. So we were already over there on that side. We already went through all of this. More collard greens, an abundance of collard greens, and sunflower. It's an avocado tree right here, for sure. And guayaba. Now we're gonna enter this realm. We're gonna go to a different dimension right here. So now we're gonna get a different angle of the greenhouse. A few minutes ago we were just standing over there. So yeah, there's the structure, the frame. And he has more collard greens inside. This one snapped off, and it's funny because it's actually still alive. I don't know if you guys can see it. That's crazy. It actually snapped off, and it's still alive. More, I would say sweet potato vines growing in the ground. I love this color, man. It's just so beautiful. More collard greens. That's just an abundance of it. Let's get an overhead view of it. Alright. Then more aloe vera. Super thick, just jumbo size. Just gonna put my hand so you guys could get a reference on how big this thing is. See, it's super huge. Let me stand back a little bit. More aloe vera. It's just, these aloe veras are the shit. More aloe veras, more collard greens, sweet potato, celery. That's where I was coming from. Now we have this rack where he has a bunch of stars like cucumbers and melons and maybe some squashes and some pumpkins. A little bit of everything. The 360-degree. And now we're gonna enter another dimension. Okay. Let's rock. And right here we got this another frame, another structure with grapevines. The grapevine is going crazy. See the grapes. Another canopy, just shaded. You can come chill right here. Another structure to protect. And then right here he has dinosaur kale, tomatoes. What else does he got? Do I see? Yeah, so it's just all over the place. And this is where the chickens be chilling at, right here. You see all the poo-poo? That's all natural organic soil amendments. And this is where they chill. This is where they sleep at night. This is where they roost. And they chill. So now we're gonna go through here. Here has more buckets of collard greens, celery that's going to flower, it's going to seed, and more portable raised bed gardens from Ross, 99-cent store, and Lowe's. Instead of being a consumer, he's a producer. And look at the size of this collard greens. I don't know, like almost 7 feet tall. Because I'm like, yeah, just so you guys could get like a reference. But I know some of the shopping cart, but still, it's growing. Bunch of celery, and then chives. And yeah, so he built these frames for the chickens so they won't go all crazy and destroy everything and munch. And you gotta protect your food. More celery. Another frame. It's like a cage. A chicken feeder. More collard greens. They just take off, man. Look at all the side shoots. So you can pretty much take these cuttings and make more collard greens and make clones. Just keep multiplying it, multiplying it. And yep, this is where he has all his stuff, his gardening stuff, his material. Yeah, so just give it another turn, 360, and bam. So you guys could get this angle. And I don't know if you guys can see. I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna lift the camera and look over the fence, and that's you gotta see the truck parked right there. I got the truck parked. Just chilling. All his material, more framing, more buckets. Can't ever go with all of this stuff. This is all gardening stuff. It's insulation. Wood, more framing material. This is all good stuff, man, for the gardening. More buckets, tubing, piping, more trash cans. It's all good. This is all part of the observatory right here at Farmer's J. Celery. It's for the aquaponics. That's for the chickens. Get a different angle from it. Where they roost, where they chill. More celery going to flower seeding. More collard greens. So yeah, so there you go. It's portable raised bed gardens. That's what you call being innovative, creative. Taking a problem and making a solution out of it. You have a question, he has the answer. And this is where he puts the chicken manure and makes it into soil. Keep growing food. And he has right here, I think it's like I don't know, maybe like a squash, a pumpkin vine, but it's growing. It's like right here, the tip, the end, it's right here. It's gonna keep expanding and growing. See another one growing right here. Good thing, and then another one right there. Yeah, so eventually he's gonna have a bunch of them. Show you guys the reference. How big is it? Yeah. So this is it. I'm gonna give you guys this angle. We're inside the garage. Yep. Mary's is here chilling. Yep. Just things that Tom has built on his own. Just getting those skills. You know, he's a very innovative man. He has many trades, many skills. Very knowledgeable. He has a wealth of information, knowledge, wisdom, which it all equals to power. See, just whatever you guys can do, man. Use shopping carts, use buckets, use pots, even use trash cans. Like, I mean, just doesn't matter. Like, just get innovative, get creative. Think outside the box. There's another frame. So we're gonna go back in reverse. Just chilled under here. He also made this from scratch. Give you guys a real quick one. Again, before we bounce, shut this off. Yeah, I like your mohawk. It's another example of how much food you could grow in a limited space. I like this one. This one looks cool. There you go, my peeps. I can see the goldfishes. There's one right there. Oh, I saw one swimming by. Alright, chill. Alright, my peeps, so I hope you guys like this tour. Farmer Jay's garden, right here at the Observatory. And that's the man right behind me. He's the one that made all of this possible. Through his mind, through his thoughts, through his feelings, through his consciousness, his whole way of being. He took action, he did the research, and then he applied it. And it was all through a learning experience. He became a biologist, a chemist, you know, an inventor, and he manifested all of this into reality. He made it tangible. So that is the power of one person. And just imagine if we all take the initiative and we all took the action to bring about freedom gardens or gardens everywhere, all over the world. So I hope you guys like it, and give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and make things happen. Be a producer, not a consumer. Alright, my peeps. Peace, love, and help. Alright, laters.